Hello, my name is Ida Gonzalez. I am making a video for week 7, and the question I chose was compare and contrast the ways that medicine and show business frame and use the freak and the elephant man. In other words, how was John Merrick viewed and treated by both industries? What were their similarities and differences? Just to let you guys know, John Merrick is the elephant man. So I've noticed that there's more similarities than differences, but I'll be first discussing the differences in the medical field, such as Dr. Travis. He lectures in anatomy at the Medical College in London. I've noticed that in a way he tries to get his consent in order to examine John throughout the film. He treats him like a human being with respect, such as telling him to take a seat in his office, consent and asking questions about his condition, as well as saying please and thank you, bringing him food, offering him medical help and rest. In other words, better conditions for him. He also tries to communicate with him individually and tries to comfort him throughout the film. Throughout in the portion of the film, there's a scene where John tells Dr. Travis if he's able to cure him, but Dr. Travis realistically tells him that he's unable to cure him. Throughout the film, he does help John in many ways, such as he was able to explore outside for the first time, but unfortunately, that turned out to an event horribly wrong. Um, he does help him more in his conditions, like setting up a room for himself privately. The next differences I'll be talking about is the show business. In the show businesses, in the beginning of the film, already shows us that there are some individuals in the carnival that are disturbed by John's look, which the owner wants in his profit for the carnival show. And there was a time in the film where Mr. Bite, the owner of the carnival, calls John his treasure, and also his greatest freak in the world, and that they're business partners when it comes to show business. But unfortunately, there is in the film times where Mr. Vice does beat him with a cane and roughly throw him around. And now that I am going to be talking about the similarities between both of them, the medical field and the show business. I also want to discuss that in the last week lecture 6, we talked about staring, which I noticed in the film that there was a lot of Kira staring and Brock staring throughout the whole film, where his eyes were wide open, mouth shocked, which also was discussed in this week's lecture 7. But let's jump right into the similarities that I found between them. Was that they both viewed John like a fine specimen. They both let the world to see John as a degraded individual in society. Both displayed John as a rare object to show off to the world, either it being in the carnival or in the examining room. They try to have a name for themselves in society. They both did agree to do business with one another in gaining fame from John, the Elephant Man. They both refer John as a great find, as well as during the time where John was being examined in the examining room or was shown off in the carnival, there was always an audience. At first, they both tried to isolate John from the world by locking him up, such as for Dr. Travis was the isolation room, and Mr. Bias, the owner, he put John in a rundown building which was dark and dirty, but slowly changes things for Dr. Travis as he built the isolation room into John's own private room. The doctor states, Dr. Travis states for himself that he made John into a human curiosity figure once again in the hospital rather than the carnival, which we could relate back to in The Social Construction of Freaks by Robert Bogdan, which there's a portion where he himself talks about human curiosity, as well as Mr. Bohan. He also talks about how in promoting in the show business, which we could definitely relate to both in the medical and the show business field, as newspapers, advertisement, or come look at the Elephant Man, and then for the examining room, look at this great human being. As well as for the newspapers, it also shows for both of them they're gaining fame. As for Dr. Travis, for his achievement, while Mr. Bites, the owner, for promoting the freak show, The Elephant Man, his main star. I've noticed that there's a sentence in The Social Construction of Freaks by Robert. Was there this portion where it says they organized the chapter of their books like medical textbook, which definitely shows us how very similar the show business and the medical field is, which I found it really interesting. And then to finish it off, I do agree for this lecture 7, where the professor states that the fact that non-disabled people need to be taught that disabled people are human beings is sad indicator of our culture, which unfortunately is true. Well, thank you so much for your time.